let me see what else we got about that. All right. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about intuition at that first stage. So the first stage going home is when a loved one passes. And usually we are in such depth of grief, we really are not able to connect with them. It's just, when you're grieving, it's very hard to be neutral and receive and notice and know all that. To really be able to, fully have that awareness of loved ones or information of any kind, energetic information, we kind of need a neutral state. And passing over is, when someone passes over, we are hardly neutral. But the spirit world is very clever, as we all know. True? Very clever. So they find a way around that little thing, and what they do, and I'm sure you've all felt this, is they send us a lot of signs, I always call signs kind of like externalized intuition. It's just another form of it. So some of the common signs that loved ones send us are things like flickering lights, ringing phones. My mother did that when she passed over. Any kind of bells, buzzers going off for no reason. They love electrical stuff. They really do. It's like one of the easiest things right away, because they have to learn too how to better connect with us. But it's easy for them to kind of like just pull that energy and affect that. Some people will smell a loved one's scent, fragrance, perfume, or cigar, or something like that. Finding coins, stones, feathers, all kinds of stuff. They leave stuff. They move things around. They do all kinds of things. I'll tell you one of the most interesting stories I had about that, which I hope I can get the story right. It was years ago. I had a client who, I think it was her husband. Yeah, it was her husband passed over, and he was Scottish, and he played the bagpipes. And they had his ceremony, and they went to the grave site, and out of nowhere, a man walked up with bagpipes, played music, and then walked away. And nobody knew who this man was. Somebody thought, well, did you invite him? No, I don't know. Nobody knew. I was very small. It was only the close family there. Nobody quite knew. And I've had other people tell me too, this was an interesting one. I had a client tell me that she was on the phone once to her daughter. Her husband had passed over, the girl's father, and they both heard simultaneously his voice saying, "I love you," on the phone as they were talking. And sometimes they will get us messages like this by phone. I have to tell you a funny story that happened this morning. I talked about Kenny at the beginning a little bit. Kenny was a musician. And I met him after his big career in New York. He had a very big music career. And one of the things he did in his career was he played with Cyndi Lauper. He played in a lot of big bands. He wrote music and he played. And he played with her during the 80s, during the Girls Just Want to Have Fun era. Traveled all over playing. Well, this morning, because he was a real showman too. So this morning, I was eating my breakfast. I got on my computer, and I couldn't believe this. I thought, only Kenny would do this. The first thing I see on my computer is Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun video. I thought, that's pretty good. He's getting pretty good at that, I thought. Yeah. Because, the funny thing was I wasn't going to bring him up. I was not going to bring him up. I was thinking, I'll get into all that story. And then when I got that video, I thought, yeah, it's just like him. He wants to be talked about. So, yeah. So he got his time in here. Yeah. I'll probably have to say more about him, though, before we're done.